Welcome to Off the Record. Before we even begin today, I want you to sit there and try to imagine a scenario. Seriously, just put yourself in this headspace for just a second.
Okay.
Imagine you are sitting in front of a camera, broadcasting live to 30, maybe 40,000 people.
Right, a massive crowd.
Exactly. And you are having a perfectly normal, relaxed conversation about, I don't know, video games or rescuing animals.
That's some stuff.
Yeah, the vibe is entirely chill. And then completely against your will, without any conscious input whatsoever, your brain forcefully hijacks your vocal cords.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it just forces you to scream the most horrific, bridge-burning, socially catastrophic string of profanities imaginable.
That's it, yeah.
You can't stop it. You can't swallow the words. It just happens. Now imagine building a multi-million-dollar, globally recognized empire on that exact premise.
It is a staggering concept, really, especially when you look at the landscape of modern digital culture.
Cool.
Because if you examine the current state of internet celebrity, it is practically a science at this point, isn't it? Everything is just so meticulously engineered.
Oh, 100%. It's all focus groups.
Right. You have these creators who are basically algorithmically optimized personas constructed in a boardroom to maximize engagement, minimize offense, and secure lucrative brand deals.
Yeah. The spiral influencer package.
Exactly. It's all perfectly angled ring lights and, focus group topologies drafted by PR teams and this highly curated synthetic vulnerability.
It's the sanitization of the human experience for mass consumption.
Perfectly said.
But today, we are going deep into the sources on someone who represents a radical fundamental departure from that entire sterilized ecosystem.
Yes, we are.
We're doing a deep dive into sweet Anita. And what's wild is that if you go back to her start in 2018, before the massive viewer counts and the global headlines, she wasn't doing anything provocative.
Not at all.
She was streaming Overwatch. She was doing these incredibly quiet, intimate, just chatting streams where she talked about rehabilitating injured animals.
Or her passion for collecting sea glass.
Right. Just the most genuinely wholesome, grounded, salt-of-the-earth stuff you can imagine.
Absolutely. And we are going to get into all of that, all the fascinating, conflicting layers of her digital footprint.
Yes, we have a lot to cover.
But before we get to the core of the analysis, I feel absolutely compelled to address the, highly specific sensory environment we are currently operating in today.
Oh boy, here we go.
Because as you know, our esteemed director, Ryan Thomas, curates a specific meal and drink pairing for every single deep dive we do, ostensibly to complement the theme of the sources.
He does. He's very particular about the psychological ambiance of the studio.
Psychological warfare is what it is. The man is a menace.
Haha, he's just trying to set the mood.
Do you want to describe to the listener what Ryan has sought off and placed in front of us for this highly nuanced, empathetic discussion about internet culture?
Well, sitting between our microphones is a massive, incredibly heavy platter of deep-fried pork belly.
It's terrifying.
It really is. And it's resting on a bed of what appears to be triple cheese chili fries. It is actually glistening under the studio lights. I think the meat is actively sweating grease onto the soundboard.
It looks like a cardiac event on a plate. And to wash down this mountain of saturated fat, Ryan has graciously provided a bottle of 130 proof artisanal absinthe.
The Green Fairy.
Absinthe. Because apparently nothing says nuanced professional analysis like a liquor that supposedly made 19th century poets cut off their own appendages.
It smells like black licorice and rubbing alcohol.
I am convinced Ryan is actively trying to sabotage our cognitive functions. But you know what? I refuse to let him win.
Good. We need to stay focused.
I am going to stay entirely professional. We are going to deliver a flawless, deeply academic episode of Off the Record, despite Ryan's culinary hostility.
I appreciate your resilience. I really do. Because we need to be sharp for this material. Okay, let's unpack this.
Let's do it.
Why are audiences so utterly starved for genuine unpredictability in a polished digital world?
That's the core of it.
Because when you look at Anita's rise, it wasn't just that she was highly skilled at playing video games, though she was. It was that she completely shattered the illusion of the controlled broadcast.
I'd actually push back a little on the idea that audiences are starved for unpredictability per se.
Really? How so?
Well, I think they are starved for authenticity, and unpredictability just happens to be the only metric of authenticity we have left that can't be easily faked.
Oh, that is a great distinction. That's really smart.
Thank you.
She brought an element of absolute, unvarnished reality to a medium that is neurotically obsessed with perfection.
Exactly.
And that transition from her wholesome interests, the sea glass, the rescued rabbits, to the reality of her streams is where the narrative really takes off.
Right, because it wasn't a bit.
No, the chaotic unpredictability of her broadcasts wasn't an edgy character choice designed to game the algorithm. It was and is a profound neurological reality.
Precisely. And I think this is where we have to establish the medical context for the listener.
Yeah, let's get into the sources on that.
Because understanding the underlying mechanics changes how you view everything she does. Anita has severe Tourette syndrome, specifically accompanied by a condition called coprolalia.
Which is very rare, right?
Yes. For those unfamiliar, coprolalia is the involuntary vocalization of obscene, socially unacceptable, or culturally taboo phrases.
And her background makes this reality so much more poignant and honestly so deeply tragic in its early stages.
It really does.
She was born in 1990 in East Anglia, raised by a single mother, eventually moving to southwest England.
Right.
And her childhood was completely derailed by this condition long before anyone knew what it was or had the basic medical literacy to diagnose it.
Which is a catastrophic failure of the medical establishment.
Completely. She had these debilitating vocal and physical tics as a kid. And for years, literally years, doctors dismissed her symptoms.
It's infuriating to read about.
They looked at a suffering child and told her and her mother that she was just exhibiting attention-seeking behavior.
The sheer arrogance of that diagnosis is staggering.
It makes me so mad.
Instead of doing the work to understand the neurology, they defaulted to blaming the child.
It ruined her education. It destroyed her early employment prospects.
Because she couldn't hide it.
No, she couldn't function in basic daily society because she was constantly having these severe physical and vocal tics, and the adults in the room were essentially telling her she was faking it.
Just unbelievable.
She didn't get a formal Tourette syndrome diagnosis until her late 20s. Can you even imagine that?
I can't. I really can't.
Navigating your entire adolescence and your early adulthood thinking you were just fundamentally broken and having every medical authority figure around you nodding and agreeing with that assessment?
It's enraging. It really is. It speaks to this horrific bias in medicine where if a doctor doesn't immediately understand a presentation, they psychologize it.
Yep. It's always in your head.
Exactly. They make it a moral failing of the patient. But out of that immense struggle comes this incredible, almost academic clarity in how Anita communicates her reality to her audience today.
She is incredibly articulate about it.
She is. What's fascinating here is how Anita herself describes coprolalia. She calls it obscene hiccups.
That is such a brilliant distillation of the experience.
It really is, because if you really dive into the philosophy of language, we're talking foundational linguistics here, people like Chomsky or Wittgenstein words are basically social contracts.
Right. We just agree on what they mean.
We assign morality and intent to these specific mouth sounds. We agree that certain phonetic combinations are harmful or evil, but what happens when those sounds are completely detached from intention or belief?
It completely short-circuits how we process communication.
Right. When her brain just fires off the most socially catastrophic word possible, it's not because she means it.
No, not at all.
It's specifically because her brain's risk assessment centers recognize it as the most forbidden thing to say in that environment.
Wow.
The basal ganglia misfires, the frontal lobe fails to inhibit the impulse, and the brain literally weaponizes the social contract against the speaker.
Yeah. It's like a neurological misfiring of the taboo filter.
Exactly.
The brain highlights the one thing you absolutely shouldn't say, and instead of suppressing it, it forces it out.
It's just a fascinating paradox.
Oh, wow. Okay. The absinthe it's doing something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I took one sip and I can physically feel my lips tingling. Is that normal?
I told you. It's incredibly potent. Sip it slowly, for God's sake.
I'm trying. But man, I get so profoundly sad thinking about her as a kid.
I know, it's heavy.
Like, really think about it. Just a little girl in East Anglia making these noises, moving involuntarily, feeling completely alienated from her own body, and these arrogant, dismissive doctors just sitting across from her with their clipboards judging her, saying she just wants attention. Who wants that kind of attention?
Yeah, nobody. Absolutely nobody.
They're so cruel. It breaks my heart. It really does.
Hey, look at me. It is sad. You have such a big, empathetic heart. You know that.
Thanks.
No, it's honestly one of the best things about you. You feel things very deeply. But remember, she survived it. She didn't just survive it, she built an empire despite them.
I know, I know. It's just the dismissal of children's pain. It really gets to me. When adults fail kids who are asking for help, it's just the worst thing in the world.
I get it. I totally get it. And honestly, Ryan Thomas would probably do the exact same thing.
Huh. You think?
Oh, absolutely. I can totally see Ryan looking a crying, misunderstood child in the eye, rolling his eyes and handing them a feedback form to log their complaints.
That is so true.
The man has ice water in his veins.
Yeah.
But Anita, she took that pain, and instead of letting it bury her, she forced the entire digital world to understand it.
She did. She really did. And that collision, her neurological reality violently smashing into live streaming culture, is where the story goes from a personal medical struggle to a massive cultural phenomenon.
Yes, the transition to Twitch.
Because her rise on Twitch in 2018 was almost entirely accidental. She was just playing games, interacting with a small chat, and these involuntary remarks would just happen.
And we need to be clear for the listener, these were wild remarks.
Oh, completely out of pocket.
I mean, we are talking highly aggressive insults, bizarre roleplay phrases, explicit sexual propositions, shouted at maximum volume, completely out of nowhere, right in the middle of a sentence about, like, game strategy.
Right. And obviously, the internet did what the internet does. They clipped it.
The clipping culture on Twitch is ruthless.
It really is. People take a 10-second out-of-context video and it becomes your entire identity.
Exactly. Compilations of her texts started spreading like wildfire across social media, specifically on places like Reddit's Livestream fail.
Which is a huge subreddit.
Huge. It was a viral explosion. She became an overnight sensation because people had never seen anything like it. And suddenly, she's not just a small streamer anymore. She's collaborating with massive, massive creators.
Oh, yeah. Huge names.
We are talking Valkyrie, Corpse Husband, Tubo, Amaranth, the absolute titans of the platform.
It was a meteoric rise.
Which, by the way, speaking of massive digital footprints, listen to me.
Oh.
Pause the analysis. If you are listening to this deep dive right now, you need to go to our YouTube channel, HamOTR.
Yeah, definitely do that.
Go there right now, open a new tab, like and subscribe. You literally have to do it.
Okay, calm down.
Because if you don't, Ryan Thomas is going to look at the analytics spreadsheet tomorrow morning. He's going to sigh that heavy, passive-aggressive sigh he does while adjusting his stupid glasses, and he's going to blame us.
He does do that sigh. It's very annoying.
So like and subscribe to HamOTR for the love of God to save us from his wrath.
Wow. That was incredibly aggressive. You have a lot of energy right now. The green fairy is waking up inside you.
I am fueled by absinthe and pure, unadulterated spite. I will not be a victim of Ryan's algorithms. I refuse.
You know, it's funny. When you get really mad at Ryan, your eyes get really bright. Like, you look very attractive when you're spiteful.
Oh, stop it. Focus. We are professionals doing a serious analysis of digital sociology.
Right. Serious analysis. The intersection of neurological reality and dark comedy.
Yes.
Because if we look at the source material, that's what her streams essentially became. It's this bizarre, incredibly compelling mix of secondhand embarrassment and sheer hilarity.
It is funny. It just is.
Like, she'll be doing a totally normal professional interview with another creator, and suddenly she screams something highly specific about a graphic sex act. And intellectually, you shouldn't laugh. Right, because it's a medical condition.
Right,
but it's the juxtaposition. It's so utterly out of place, so perfectly antithetical to the expected social norm that it forces this massive comedic tension to release.
But I want to push back on the idea that we shouldn't laugh. It is genuinely funny.
I mean, yeah.
And the crucial part of this entire dynamic is that Anita frames it as funny too. She has this incredibly quick wit. She's highly self-deprecating.
That's true. She handles it so well.
Before the other person on the stream can even process the horribly awkward thing she just involuntarily shouted, she's already making a joke about it. She owns the absurdity of it. She gives the audience permission to find the humor in the chaos.
That's very true. She disarms the tension. But she also goes out of her way to make it clear that while we are laughing at the 30-second YouTube compilation, we aren't seeing the exhaustion.
The fatigue is real.
The physical toll of it. Imagine the physical pain from the motor tics alone. She's talked about the psychological terror of just being in a public space like a grocery store.
Oh, God. Yeah.
And knowing your brain might force you to scream something horrific at a stranger minding their own business. Imagine the baseline anxiety of that existence.
Absolutely. And the suppression aspect is fascinating. Because people with Tourette's can sometimes suppress their tics temporarily.
Mm.
But think of it like holding in a violent sneeze.
Yes. That's the perfect way to explain it.
You can hold that sneeze in for maybe 30 seconds, but it takes immense muscular and mental focus. Now imagine doing that for 12 hours straight.
I'm getting tired just thinking about it.
Suppressing catechus is physically exhausting, and if she holds them in for too long, she gets these massive tic attacks later in private where they rebound 10 times harder. Her body essentially punishes her for trying to conform to public spaces.
It's a constant, agonizing physical and mental balancing act.
Yeah.
Which actually brings up a really thorny issue in the sources.
The moderation issue.
Yeah. Because if her content is entirely involuntary, how do automated platform policies handle it? Twitch has all these rigid community guidelines, right?
Okay.
Rules against hate speech, sexual content, harassment.
Which is standard for any platform.
Right. And Anita has completely involuntarily used explicit phrases and racial slurs on stream.
Which caused massive, massive controversies.
Yep.
Mass report campaigns, huge debates on Twitter, people demanding she be permanently deplatformed.
Right. And you have to look at it from the platform's perspective, too, right? Like, Twitch has advertisers. Brands don't care about context. They care about brand safety.
Typical corporate mindset.
Exactly. If a slur happens on stream, the advertisers freak out. So you could argue Twitch is forced to act to protect its bottom line.
No, I absolutely reject that premise.
Mm-hmm.
That is a coward's defense of corporate sanitized spaces.
Oh, okay.
Because this raises an important question. How do you moderate intent? Twitch's automated moderation systems are literal code. They are bots using basic natural language processing.
Well, yeah, they can't have humans watch everything.
They scan a transcript for prohibited words, they do a rudimentary sentiment analysis, and they swing the ban hammer. They are machines, fundamentally, mathematically incapable of comprehending disability. They don't understand the nuance of human context.
But algorithms are just following the rules they were given.
Yes, and the rules are broken. This just infuriates me, because we are turning over our public squares, our spaces of connection and community, to unfeeling, empathy-void algorithms.
You're getting really worked up about this.
We are letting code dictate the boundaries of acceptable human variance. And you know who loves algorithms? Ryan Thomas.
Off, of course.
Ryan Thomas is basically an algorithm wearing a medium-sized button-down shirt. He doesn't care about human nuance. He doesn't care about context. He just looks at the data.
He does love a spreadsheet.
Oh, she said a bad word. Beep, boop, execute ban protocol.
Mm-hmm.
It's soulless. It's entirely soulless. And it erases disabled bodies from the public sphere just to appease a bunch of shareholders who don't even watch the content.
Wow. Okay, so what does this all mean?
What do you mean? What does it mean? I just explained it.
No, like, what does it mean for us, for society as a whole? Are we all just, machines now?
We're acting like it.
Just scanning each other for the wrong words, reporting each other. Nobody cares why you said something anymore. They just care that you broke the rule. The context is dead.
It's very bleak.
The internet is just this cold, dark void where human empathy goes to die, and we're all just shouting into the void, waiting for a bot to delete us. I feel so empty.
Hey.
Also, I feel like my face is numb. Is your face numb?
My face is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
My face has never felt better. Your face is, you look a little tragic right now, to be honest. You look like a sad puppy in a rainstorm.
I feel like a sad puppy.
Drink some water. Or eat some of this awful, glistening pork belly.
I can't eat that. It looks like it's still alive. It's intimidating me.
Uh-huh.
But you know what Anita said during that whole controversy? She said Tourette's doesn't excuse hateful ideology. Like, she's very clear about that in the sources. She never defends the words themselves.
Right. She takes a very responsible stance.
But she says her condition empirically proves that vocalizations can exist without intent. The word can just be a sound, a mechanical failure of the mouth. It doesn't mean she hates anyone. It's just her brain misfiring. And people still wanted to cancel her. They couldn't wrap their heads around the fact that she wasn't doing it on purpose.
Because people are deeply psychologically uncomfortable with things they can't control. Her existence reminds them that the brain is just meat that can malfunction at any time, and that terrifies them.
That's so true. Just meat.
And speaking of vulnerability, let's pivot from platform vulnerability to... Wait, hold on. What was I saying? What was the point I was trying to make?
Platform vulnerability to something else.
Real-world vulnerability. That's it. The dark side of visibility.
Yeah, the stuff beyond the tics, the personal toll.
Exactly. Because her life isn't just the Twitch stream. She is a full, complex human being. She identifies as demisexual, which, for you listening, means she only experiences sexual attraction after forming a very strong emotional bond with someone.
Which is totally valid.
And she has been so incredibly open in her interviews about how horrifically difficult it is to navigate intimacy and dating with her condition. I mean, think about it rationally. First dates are already an awkward nightmare of micro-judgments. Now add unpredictable, highly aggressive vocal tics to the mix.
Dating is a nightmare. It really is just an absolute nightmare.
It's the worst.
It's so hard to just be a person sitting across from another person trying to prove you are worthy of affection. And when you're trying to protect yourself and you're out there and wait, hang on. I need to do something. My tongue feels thick.
What are you doing?
Liam Neeson's niece, Lisa Neeson, recently leased a really nice Nissan.
What the hell was that?
Liam Neeson's niece, Lisa Neeson, recently leased a really nice Nissan. It's a vocal warm-up.
A vocal warm-up.
I learned it on the internet. I just felt like my mouth was getting sloppy from the absinthe, so I needed to, Lisa Neeson leased a really nice Nissan.
Who the fuck is Liam Neeson? Are you trying to say Liam Neeson?
I don't know. I don't know who he is. It's his niece, Lisa. She got a very nice Nissan. It's a reliable car.
You are so drunk, you just completely derailed a deeply serious, poignant analysis about intimacy and demisexuality to talk about Liam Neeson's imaginary niece getting a car lease.
I had to say it. It was stuck in my head. Ryan told me to practice my diction before the show.
Fuck Ryan. God, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah.
Least a really nice Nissan. Jesus Christ. I'm crying.
Yeah, but it's true, though, about the dating. It's so hard.
Oh, no. Wait, are you crying? Are those actual tears?
I'm so lonely, man. Like, I read these sources, and Anita has severe Tourette's and stalkers, and she's out there bravely trying to date. And I don't even have Tourette's, and my dating life is a complete and utter disaster.
All right.
I just sit on these apps every night, and I swipe, and nobody wants to form an emotional bond anymore. They just want superficial validation. I feel so broken. I feel like I'm fundamentally unlovable, like I'm defective software.
Oh, babe, no. Hey, look at me. Look right at me. You are not unlovable.
I am. I really am.
You are so incredibly handsome. You are beautiful and smart, and you have this amazing, deep voice, and anyone would be incredibly lucky to lease a Nissan with you. Okay, you are a massive catch.
Sniff. You really think so? You're not just saying that because of the absinthe.
I know so. I mean it. And you know what else? People out there are just awful. They don't appreciate depth, which actually brings us perfectly back to Anita's situation.
Okay, yeah.
Because it's not just bad dates she has to deal with. She has to deal with stalkers. Real, genuinely terrifying stalkers. People figuring out where she lives.
That's so scary.
Trespassing on her physical property, making horrific, graphic threats against her and her family. And the police, law enforcement, they did absolutely nothing for the longest time.
Oh, the cops are useless.
The systemic inaction of law enforcement regarding digital creator stalking is an absolute disgrace to the justice system. It's negligence. If any of those stalkers came near Anita, or if they came near you, I swear to God, I would beat them with my bare hands.
You would?
I would take this artisan absinthe bottle, and I would smash it against the table, and I would fight them in the street. I'd fight Ryan Thomas, too, while I'm at it, just for sport. I am fiercely protective of the people I care about.
You're really tough. You're like a warrior. I appreciate that so much. I feel very safe with you right now. You have really good energy.
You should feel safe. Let's try to get back to the timeline, okay? We need to push through this material.
Push through. Got it.
So the internet reacts to her fame, right? And because she's a woman on the internet who has achieved massive success and she has a medical condition, naturally, the armchair detectives arrive to tear her down.
Oh, God, the Reddit guys. The absolute worst people on earth. I need to reset the podcast. Hang on.
What are you doing?
Welcome back to Off the Record. Moving to Section 5 of our scholarly analysis. We must now critically examine the sociocultural phenomenon of skepticism surrounding Sweet Anita's diagnosis.
You sound like a 1940s radio announcer who just had a minor stroke. Stop reading off the paper. You're slurring.
I'm trying to maintain professional integrity. The Reddit guys. The body language experts, we have to talk about them.
Oh, don't even get me started on these absolute bottom-feeding losers. These guys sitting in their dimly lit basements, smelling like stale corn chips, watching Twitch clips at half speed, trying to debunk a formally diagnosed lifelong neurological disorder.
We think they know better than doctors.
They make these unhinged 4-hour commentary videos accusing her of faking her tics for attention. And you know what their grand evidence is? They base their entire thesis on the fact that her tics fluctuate because they have zero fundamental medical understanding of how the human nervous system works.
Right. Because subreddits actually change depending on external stimuli.
Yeah.
Thanks. What do they change depending on? I have it in my notes somewhere under the grease. Stress, fatigue, environmental factors, suppression.
Exactly. And when you think about it, wait. Think about this. My brain is expanding right now.
Yeah.
If you are stressed, the differics get worse, right?
That's what the medical journals say.
No, but listen to the logic loop. Stress makes the condition worse, which means the more these Reddit trolls harass her, the more death threats they send, the more stressed she gets.
Oh.
That stress neurologically triggers more frequent and severe cervixes, which the trolls then clip and use as proof that her presentation is inconsistent and therefore she's faking it. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy of harassment.
Oh, my God.
That is, oh, my God, that's profound. That is the most insidious, perfectly engineered cycle of cruelty I have ever conceptualized in my entire life.
Whoa. That is profound. You just solved the internet. You are so smart.
I know. I really am. It's like forcing a disabled person to constantly prove their own reality to a jury of unqualified, bitter virgins while simultaneously torturing them to make sure they fail the test.
It's evil.
It makes my blood physically boil. And honestly, I have a theory. I'm putting this on the record right now, off the record. I firmly, wholeheartedly believe that Ryan Thomas is a Reddit troll. I think he runs one of those toxic subreddits. Look at the food he gave us. Deep-fried pork belly on triple cheese chili fries. That is pure, unadulterated Reddit moderator food. He is trying to clog our arteries with cholesterol so we can't expose his terrible internet behavior.
My God, the conspiracy goes all the way to the top. It goes to the director's chat. You're blowing my mind right now.
It all makes sense.
But you know, the saddest part, she told them. Anita constantly goes on stream and patiently explains that her medical presentation is highly variable. She educates them, but they don't care. Internet culture doesn't want the truth. It just loves to tear successful women down.
Because they are miserable inside. They project their own emptiness onto her. Unlike us. We are full of insight.
We really are.
We are uncovering incredible, earth-shattering insights here. We are doing the absolute best work of our careers tonight. This is Peabody Award-winning analysis.
This is a masterclass in podcasting. I mean, deep diving. No, wait, we don't call it that. It's off the record. We are off the record. I'm so dizzy. The room is tilting to the left.
Okay, we need to wrap this up. Before I physically slide out of this ergonomic chair and end up under the table with the cables, let's summarize the narrative arc. Sweet Anita.
Sweet Anita.
She started as a Twitch curiosity, right? To the uneducated masses, she was just a girl playing games who couldn't stop saying crazy things.
But she evolved so far beyond that. She became this massive, crucial disability awareness icon.
She really did.
Because her streams showed a generation of people that being disabled online doesn't have to be this sterile, tragic pity party thing. It doesn't have to be an inspirational poster. It can be chaotic. It can be incredibly uncomfortable. It can be hilarious. And most importantly, it can be deeply, deeply human.
Exactly. She didn't have a polished, PR-approved influencer brand. She didn't sell impossible aspiration to her viewers. She sold vulnerability. Raw, unfiltered vulnerability. You never knew if you were going to get a profound philosophical discussion about neuroplasticity or a heartbreakingly honest emotional talk about the realities of stalking, or just a chaotic multiplayer lobby where she screams something absolutely unhinged and forces everyone into stunned, awkward silence. She didn't even play games.
Yeah.
Wait, no, she played Overwatch. I said that earlier in the intro. Played Overwatch, whatever. You get the point.
She played it beautifully, probably. I don't know. I'm not good at shooters. My hand-eye coordination is terrible. But I want to leave you, the listener, with a final thought.
Yes, lay it on them.
Something to really chew on while you're commuting or doing dishes or ignoring Ryan Thomas's frantic emails like we do. Think about the cultural moment we are in right now. In an era where literally everyone on the internet is terrified of being canceled. Where regular people are meticulously scripting every single word they type to avoid saying the wrong thing and ruining their lives. What does it mean that millions and millions of people seek out and find genuine comfort in watching a woman who literally cannot stop herself from saying the absolute worst things imaginable?
That is, wow. That is a gorgeous question. That is poetry. You are a genius. You really are. You see right to the core of it.
Thank you. You're brilliant too. And you have really, really great hair.
We are a great team. The best. This has been Off the Record. Please, I'm begging you on my hands and knees, go to YouTube, search for Ham OTR, Ham-OTR. Like and subscribe. Do it for us. Do it to spite Ryan and his stupid chili fries.
We love you, listener. Stay unpredictable. Drive a Nissan.
Ryan. Ryan, I know you're behind that glass looking at your spreadsheet. Bring us some water. I'm going to pass out face first into this pork belly. Ryan, open the door.